Hey everyone, so I just wanted to do a quick update from our last video where we talked about using plasticity for hard surface modeling. We talked about the approach of using curves and using those to build our model as opposed to the traditional box modeling that we would get typically in 3D Max, Maya, and Blender. And I just wanted to do a little bit more of a deeper dive into a technique that I'm really liking. Um, but yeah, just to kind of recap a little bit, here is the scene in Blender. I've pretty much finished modeling the ship. I've started texturing it. I've also added some scaffolding elements to kind of ground the scene a little bit more. But let's jump into plasticity here. So here is the model in plasticity. As you can see, I've got a lot of these curves that are really serving as the foundation for the model. And today I wanted to talk about a specific technique that kind of touches on the stuff that we talked about last time. So I'm going to start a new window here. I'm going to change the camera to a perspective view. And I'm going to remove this this cube. And so in the last video we talked about, lofting, right? That was sort of the key kind of tool that we were using. So I got these two circles here. I'm going to hit F to bring up the tool menu. I'm going to search for loft. And then now we get this this nice cylinder. So I wanted to do a little bit more of an extension of this, where if we wanted to do a little bit more of a complex shape as opposed to just these basic circles, right? So yeah, so if I wanted to add a little bit more detail to this, which we probably will, because this is just a very simple circle, what I would want to do first is I want to select the shape, and then I want to make it so that my working plane is flush with this selection. So what that means is everything that I draw will be on the same plane as this first element here, and that's going to be really important. And so what I want to do again is select it, and for me again I'm using a Blender hotkeys. I'm gonna hold shift and then space, and then what that will do is make sure that the working plane is according to this shape here. All right. And now if I hit spacebar, it's going to make sure that the viewpoint, the perspective is snapped to that selection, right? And now again, I want to, if I wanted to do like a Mickey Mouse shape or something, right? So I'm gonna draw these two ears. I'm gonna select this one, and I'm going to, do the other ear, just like this. And now we have this shape, right? But now we have these overlapping circles that we're not gonna need. We want this Mickey Mouse head to be all joined together, nice and clean. And now I'm gonna use the trim tool, which is here, where you can hit T. And now, since we're working on the same plane, the software recognizes this. And now we can just select and snip out the elements that we don't want anymore, right? And I'm gonna hit right click to execute that action. And then, so now we have this clean Mickey Mouse outline, right? And then currently they're all still separated. So I'm gonna select all of them, and I'm gonna hit J to join them into one piece. And now we have this beautiful curve. It's all nice and clean. And now we have this base foundation of a shape that we can work with. And now if I want to do a little bit more refinement, add a little bit more beveling, chamfering to the corners, the sharp corners. I'm gonna make sure that I have my control points selected. I'm gonna select all of them. And then if I hit B, that should bring up this control gizmo. And then now we have the option either to create a hard chamfer like this, or we get a nice soft bevel like so. And then hit right click to apply. And then if we're happy with the shape, now we can extrude. All right. So let me demonstrate this a little bit more. I'm going to use this plane here for now. I'm going to draw a pentagon. And then now again, I want to make sure that everything that I draw afterwards is on the same plane as this surface. So again, I'm going to select this face. I'm going to hold shift and hit the spacebar. And as you can see, the grid has now snapped to that face. So everything that I draw afterwards will be on the same plane, right? And then if I hit spacebar again, it's going to snap to that view. And now let's draw a spline curve, something a little bit more organic. Do something like that. Now we have this awesome shape. Now we want to trim again the parts that we don't want. Here, here. And now we have the shape. Select both curves, hit J for join, then do a little bit more refinement. Say I want to bevel these corners a little bit more. And now we have the shape. Shift D to duplicate. And then now we can loft. And so now you can see how we can create these more complex shapes by drawing, combining different shapes together, and then trimming out the elements that we don't want in order to come up with something you know, a little bit more interesting. And hopefully that shows you how powerful this technique can be, because personally, coming again from a box modeling background for decades now, this seems to be a little bit more design oriented and a little bit less technical in terms of, like, you know, really prioritizing the design over the topology and the construction of. Hopefully you learned something from that. And again, I'm gonna be continuing with this this blender scene here. Now I'm at this point where I'm gonna be texturing the rest of the elements here, adding some nice lighting elements and a little bit more details, and then I'm gonna be taking it into Photoshop again to finish it up and apply some nice overpainting, which is still my favorite part. But yeah, I'm going to end the video right there. Hopefully that's something that you can take with you, and we'll catch you in the next one.